Hey, it's William Dorrington here from TDG, and it just occurred to me I haven't actually made a video or really an article or blog about the new AI builder. That's, I say new, it's a few weeks old now, so I'm in the garden currently and I thought I'd give this a go. And I can see my girlfriend's potting around gardening, because for those who don't know her, she's a horticultural scientist, so she's been in in a couple of our hackathons before actually, especially when we focused on agriculture. And I thought, well, started talking with her around what we could do around this, especially around object identification, and she thought, well, maybe one to detect weeds could be useful. And as we've moved into our new house, we're slowly sort of working through the garden, so we've got quite a few weeds we can take some pictures of, and I can use it through Alicia to identify and try and create an AI model out of it. So for those who don't really know what the AI builder actually does, it allows you to, with little to no knowledge around how AI actually works, it allows you to really add intelligence into your application without really having any knowledge about it. So it's that click and point scenario. So there's four elements to it. You can do binary classification, which you can look through historical data and classify it into two areas. So it could be people looking at whether their customers are going to actually subscribe to a certain service again. You can look based on some data whether it's likely or not. There's form processing, so the ability to take a picture of a form, for example, goods received note. So you've got a construction site, a foreman's on the site, and he receives a thing of bricks. He can take a picture of that goods received note, the quantity received, and actually upload that back to maybe Dynamics 365 for finance and operations, and have that match against a purchase order, so that can then be receipted and then go forward to be invoiced. Then we have a text classification, so that's you can look at certain portions of text and classify it. So if you run a load of historical data through it for sentiment analysis, maybe you can start picking up customer engagement and case management. You can look at the cases that are most negative, so you can deal with them quicker, and the ones that are more sort of positive or less high risk, I guess, of damaging reputation or whatever it may be, then you can start dealing with those last. And then of course we have object detection. That Pepsi Cola is a famous one out there for the ability they take pictures of their fridges for auditing purposes, for when they're auditing customer fridges around the globe, mainly in America I believe. What they can do is take a picture and it'll identify how many bottles of Pepsi or Mountain Dew has been lined up in a fridge, and from that, with little to no human interaction, we can create another that just detects it, whether there are mobile phones in the picture, and how many, etc. But this time we want it to identify different types of weeds. So we're going to sort of pause and start this video, because I'm going to go out and gather data while we're actually doing this. So I'm going to start with building up object detection. I'm going to give this model a name, so weed detector. Hopefully the police don't scan through this CDS and wonder what the hell that's for. We're going to create that. So then from this, once that starts kicking off, I will need to actually start feeding data into it. So select the object names you want to detect, and however I also need to ensure that I have a CDS entity that has all the names of the different weeds that I want to detect. So actually I forgot to do that, so I'm going to pause the video now and go ahead and create that. Hey, so why I went away for a moment there was I actually went to create a new entity. Those that don't know how to do it, it's really easy. You just go to your web.powerapps.com, actually make.powerapps.com. It has now changed. Go to your data, then to your entities, then within your maker experience you can select a new entity, which is quite simple to do. Click up here, you give it a name, display name, so what you want to call that entity, and then what you want to give your primary field. So I actually made my primary field a unique ID, or in this case actually made it the name of the weed that I'm gonna have put in there. So if I go cancel that and I actually look for here's one I made earlier, Blue Peter style weed AI model, you'll see that I've already built something in ID and weeds, and all I did was then edit that data in Excel, which is here, and start putting in three types of weeds that my lady told me about, so stinger nettles, fat hen and mayweed. Then from that I publish that data back to the model, and here you can actually see it, so fat hen, mayweed, stinger nettles. Now from this I need to make sure I add that to the AI model I created earlier, so I can go weed AI model, and then this is the actual list. So I'm going to select that field, and these are the select all that we want, but actually at the moment we're just going to detect stinger nettles, so let's select next on that. Right, And the next thing it's going to ask is for us to add images. So I have actually taken some pictures, so what I'll do is I will pause this video while I upload them to a repository and take some more pictures as well, just to really ensure we got a solid model there. As you can see from the bottom of my strip, I've been busy taking pictures, uploading them and getting ready to add them into the model. So first it's saying, hey, you need at least 15 images for each object you wish to detect. Now 15 is kind of just the minimal. I would actually recommend uploading a ton more. I've got 20, that's probably not enough for the complexity of what we're trying to upload, because if you think about stinging nettles, in the background there's going to be more weeds around them, or more plants, so it's going to be very hard for the model to actually pick this up. So I'm going to go to add images, and then within my downloads I will find a folder once it loads called business cards. So give that a second. It's just taking a little while for my folders to rearrange themselves. Here we go, actually we can go from here. Perfect. Then from in here we have stinging nettles, and then here we can actually choose all of these, which should be able to, and just start adding them in. So here we go, as you can see, loads of different stinging nettles. Those in the UK be aware of these. I was actually with Carl Hill the other day and his lovely partner Lisa. Showed them a stinging nettle. They've never seen one before or knew what it was, which was phenomenal. So of course you get them to touch it, they've realised very quick why it's called a stinging nettle. So we're uploading those 20 images, and then what we're going to have to do is start tagging them. So telling the model actually what is a stinging nettle. You know, same as what I kind of had to do with Carl and Lisa the other day. So they were just more of a complex and advanced AI model in my eyes. So here we go, we've got those. It says upload complete down here, so I'm going to select close, and then I'm going to select next. Now it's going to start saying, hey, let's tag these images. Now I'll tag a couple with you, so you've seen them, and then I'll do a couple without, so it's not so boring. So here you've got to be careful. There we go. So I'm going to stick with stinging nettles. Now let's go on to the next one. I can add details as well, so if we actually go back, it does say there's some details here as well if we want, so alternate text, but I'm not going to bother with that now. And then so it's actually quite hard. There we go. Just pick that up as well. So I'm going to do stinging nettle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it off once more. I'm going to go ahead and tag a few more of these, well, to be exact 18 more, and then I'll jump back on with the camera. So I've finished tagging. The weather's actually looking a bit interesting, but we are in England. We're hearing a bit of thunder, so this could be a little bit of fun in a minute. But hey, I finished tagging all my pictures that are stinging nettles and locating where stinging nettles are. I'm going to select done tagging. Then I should be able to select next. And there we go. So I just need it to train that model now. So it's going to take a little while it does that. So what I can do in the meantime is actually get a PowerApp going. So I'm going to go to web.powerapps, which will of course forward me, thanks to good old DNS, to make.powerapps.com, and then from that I'm going to go to apps once this loads. Don't know if you can hear that in the background, a little bit of thunder rumbling. Let's create an app. We're going to do a canvas app, but it's good to see Portal there now, right? You got the canvas model Portal, fantastic. Had a play with that. I will release some videos on that soon. I'm being a little bit more quiet because I know people are out in their gardens and stuff, so I don't want to think their neighbours moved into a complete nerd. Just a partial one. That's good enough for me. So we're going to move to blank app and choose I might as well do a tablet layout. It's only a bit of fun, and you know, Alicia might use it in the field one day, but she's pretty good with stinging nettles. So give that a second, and actually let's see how. So it's still training. It's going to take a little while. So let's start building this up. So here you go to insert. You can actually see the AI builder here. You can do the object detector, etc. But you'll have to then, of course, marry that up. But I can leave it there for now. I should be able to repoint it again later, in regards to once the model's there. So nothing's there yet, but that's fine. We can refresh that once it's ready. And we're going to want that, and then we're going to want some outputs from it. So what I'm going to do is, well, let's actually do some labels. Let's get this label here. Computer's being a bit slow, but there is a lot going on. Do border so we can see where it's sitting. Let's go drag this out. I'm going to start bringing some stuff across from that object detector. Dot. So we need probably text. Happy days. Drag a few more bits out. So count, so how many stinging nettles? Oh, that's not coming out there. Oh, that's why. I need to use a gallery for this for now. Maybe I ran into this when I was playing around with it a little while back, so honestly it's a lot easier. So what I can do is leave it like that, and we'll set it as the object detector in a minute. Let's see if that's actually come back through. So we get the properties, select model, see if anything's in yet. Not yet, so we might pause this while it's doing that instead of me just randomly talking for no reason. So let's check back again in a minute. So the model has actually stopped training now, and I actually forgot a crucial part, because once you've trained it you still need to publish it. So if I go back to my AI models, go to details, it'll tell us the accuracy, so 68%. It's not that great, and to be honest, if it wasn't for a video I would keep retraining it until it got a lot better. You can look at how you interpret the score, but for now I'm just going to publish. Then that means I can go back to the PowerApp and actually bring in this model. The sky is getting a lot darker. This could be a race against the rain. So this is just publishing now. Let's give that a second. Trains 1728. It's pretty good. So let's give this a moment. And then what I can do is go back here. Just be able to refresh this. Read detector. Happy days. We can now add that in. See if we can choose a data source. So we should be able to use the object detector. There we go, stinging nettles. Let's see if that actually brings in anything there. I've never tried this before. So down there, go to properties, edit. Count, so we want, so let's keep that as display name, let's keep this as count. The wind's making my hair do amazing things. So it's 0 at the moment. So let's see what happens if we actually add a stinging nettle. So we'll choose one that we've already taken a picture of to start with. So let's try this one. Let's see if we can detect a stinging nettle in there. And then what I'll do is I'll pause this, I'll go and take a new picture, upload it, and see what happens. There we go, it's detected it straight away, so that's pretty fantastic. Actually, I won't even bother taking a picture. Let's do something you shouldn't do when you're recording. Let's go on the internet and search stuff, which always ends in tears. So, here we go, we've got the common nettle there. Right, let's just grab one of these pictures. This one looks pretty good. Let's see if it will allow us to save that. Save image as. And go to stinging nettles. There we go, happy days. So test nettle 1. So that's quite an easy one, I think, we'd all argue. Let's see if we can do something a little bit more complex. That would be quite hard because it hasn't seen it in flower yet, so that might be an unfair test. Just trying to see if there's one that's amongst a load of others. Stinging nettles. Let's do that among plants. Right, there must be something good in here. You are literally watching a man browse the internet right now, so I'll try and hurry this up. Somewhere, come on. God, it's the internet, you should have tons to offer. Right. Yeah, this is a bit more tough. It's got other plants going on there, so let's go save image as. Let's save it as a harder test. I think the rain's about to start pouring down. Harder test. Alright, let's go test this. So weed detector. So let's click on here. So let's go for test 1. See if it picks this up. Wait for the number to appear on the right, and then it's and the square to see if it's actually detected it. Fantastic, so let's pick that up. Let's try the next one. So this is a lot harder because there's actually other plants there, which is, you know, for us it's easy, but there's tons of the same colour, same sort of shape, It has picked it up actually, but it said there's only one, so it hasn't picked up any of these other, the other couple there. So it's probably best we actually train this a bit more. But hey, I think this is a bloody good first start. So overall, really easy. All we did was build out the CDS entity with the different labels that we want. So sting and S was Mayweed Fat Hen. We started training up our model, very quick to do, take a load of pictures of the object you wish it to detect, pump it through, train that model, make sure there's a high accuracy. 68 probably wasn't high enough, you go a little bit higher than that, and then actually go and bake that into an app to add that intelligence to your app very quickly. Now I'm going to make this model with other weeds as well, so you can really start testing the capabilities of it. I'll keep this going. It's not the most interesting showcase of it, I think my girlfriend would argue otherwise, but it is a good test of it. So tune in again in a bit, and hopefully I'll keep updating this. Cheers guys.